everyone, so today is going to be a really fun DIY project on tie-dye t-shirts. This is such a cool thing to wear in summer and they look really good with denim shorts. As you can see, I'm wearing them now. And bring your friends along. This is such a cool project to do and you're going to have a lot of material left over to make more than you really need. So I hope you guys enjoy this one and stay tuned to see how I created all my tie-dye shirts. These are the main things that we're going to need for our tie-dye shirts. So obviously we're going to need whatever fabric you want to use. These are just the Fruit of the Loom men's shirts and they're just V-necks. You can get scoop neck, whatever you want. And we're also going to need a few tools. We're going to need a spoon to mix up our dye bath and a measuring cup to measure out the salt and laundry detergent. And I also have a bucket here which I'm going to use for my dye bath. We're also going to need rubber bands, gloves that are disposable because we don't want to dye our hands. Whatever dye you want to use, I'm using RIT dye. I have a navy blue dye, I have a purple dye, and a yellow dye. And I picked all of these up in the laundry section of Walmart. And our dye is going to come in a little package like this. It's like a powder kind of consistency. And whatever you need to use to mix your dye up, you need to follow the directions on the box. I'll show you guys some techniques that you can use to create the tie-dye patterns. And there are tons out there. You can literally search them on Google and I'm sure you'll find more. The dye I'm using actually says that it works best with 100% cotton shirts, so that's why I picked these up. And we're also going to be working with our rubber band, so make sure you have assortment of sizes. So we're going to find the center of our shirt and I'm just going to map it out and say this is the center. And we're going to pinch our fabric and start twisting it in. And you can see that the fabric is starting to twirl. You just want to keep twirling this until all of it is in like a snail kind of shape. And it's going to fall out a little bit, like around the edges, so you can just use your fingers to mold it. We're going to end up with something like this. I'm going to take a rubber band and put it around the edges just to hold this together when we go ahead and dye it. So that's what this one looks like. Working with a different shirt, I'm going to go about a different technique with this, and we're going to work with like the front of the fabric, so don't grab the back when you do this. So just kind of pinch random sections. And we're going to secure this with a rubber band and make sure you do this fairly tightly because you don't want the dye to kind of bleed onto the area, I guess, if that makes sense. If you can see that, it makes like little pleats out and that's going to make a really cool pattern. So we're going to do this all over the shirts and on the back as well. This is what this one looks like after I've tied off all of the pieces that I desire. And like I said, I did it all over the fabric on the sleeves as well. It's kind of hard to tell which part of the shirt is which part, but it should look something like this. And this is the last technique I'm going to do, and I honestly don't even know if this is going to work. So I'm literally going to bunch up my whole entire shirt, just like this. And I'm going to tie it off with my rubber bands all the way up the shirt. So, like I said, you can use whatever sizes you'd like. This is a thicker band, which will create a different kind of look, opposed to a band that was this thin. 10 rubber band sections off, and honestly you can space these out as far or as close as you would like, and I just left my ends frayed like that. And honestly I have no idea what this one's going to turn out to look like, but I'm hoping we're going to get good results. I'm mixing up my dye bath outside because I don't want to mess up my house. And the color I chose to do first is yellow, so I mean the color of it right now looks kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. This is the technique I'm dyeing yellow, and I'm just going to soak this in my mixture. I'm gonna use my spoon to make sure everything is coated. So it's been about 10 minutes and my yellow dye has been soaking in here. It looks very, very cool. I can't even believe how amazing it looks so far. I'm also using these 210 trays, so once I pull out the shirts from the dye, I can go ahead and place them in the tray here. It almost looks black. It's kind of crazy. I'm placing in the spiral right now. Okay, I'm gonna leave this in here for 10 minutes. I'm gonna come back and flip this guy over because it's not all the way soaked yet. This is what she looks like so far. Remember, it was totally white, so I'm really actually loving this yellow color. It's gorgeous, and I almost wish I did more than just one because that's such a pretty color. And I do still have on my gloves because, as you can tell, they have purple dye on them, and I'd rather have the purple dye on my gloves instead of my hands. So let's go over and check on our shirts. So far, so good. All right, so I just mixed in my navy blue dye, and I have the 2 shirts right there that are gonna be dyed next. I have the yellow right here, and then I have the 2 purple shirts. That one I'm worried about, so I'm not even sure that one's gonna turn out right. In goes shirt number 4 and number 5. My shirts have been soaking in the blue dye for about 15 minutes. Now I'm going to pull these out of the dye bath and put them into my tin tray so that they can begin to soak in there and kind of let loose of all the dye. Now we're just going to remove all of our rubber bands using scissors, which I forgot to mention in the beginning, you need scissors for this project. And right after we do that, we're going to go ahead and throw this into our rinse cycle of our washing machine and then directly into our dryer until they're complete. And so there you have it, our tie-dye project. I had a blast making my shirts, and I hope you guys try this one out. If you do, post a picture on my Facebook page. I would love to see it. Don't forget to stop by akdoll.com to see all the photos of my t-shirts and all the products used. Bye guys!